So with the Season 14 update, Mad Maggie got a little buff that destroys Gibby's dome, which is, thank the Lord, he's getting a little bit of a nerf. But the weird thing is, now we're not seeing really any Mad Maggies being played, and we're not really seeing any Gibbies being played, which just kind of like blows my mind. And I feel like that Mad Maggie is really underrated for what she is. Now, I have been playing Mad Maggie ever since the Season 14 update with a little bit of Newcastle in there. And let me just say, I think I prefer Mad Maggie over Newcastle, as I've been playing her for a week straight, which is a long time for me personally, because I love to switch characters, and she has been an absolute pleasure to play with. But I came up with 5 tips and tricks that are going to help you out, like I said in the beginning of the video. So I hope that you do enjoy the video. If you do, make sure to leave a big fat like on this thing. And if you do enjoy the content that we're posting over here on the SteadyGamin channel, where there's a little button down there, starts with an S, ends with an E. Go ahead and hit that thing if you do enjoy this content. And let's get right into the video, baby. So for tip number 1, we're going to be utilizing her passive. Her passive allows you to move faster with a shotgun and to get a free scan every time that you do damage, making her overpowered in my opinion. Now, I see that so many Mad Maggies not utilizing running with the shotgun out and actually just running with their hands out for no reason whenever you run just as fast with your shotgun as you do whenever you do not have your shotgun equipped and you just have your hands out. So make sure that you're using that, as you can be ready to fight just in case someone is ratting out or whatever. You can have your shotgun already ready. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move over to tip number 2. So for tip number 2, we're going to be talking about how awesome her tactical is. Her tactical can actually recharge in 22 seconds, which is, in my opinion, a little bit overpowered. As you can see in the video, I first set up an easy shot on the enemy that was coming in. As I do a bunch of damage, I have that scan, I use the tactical, boom, I knock them, and then I go for the last kill, which makes it an easy cleanup whenever the tactical is still going. Now, if you do this and you set it up every single time like this, you will get easy kills, I promise you. But that goes ahead and leads us into tip number 3. So for tip number 3, we're going to be using her tactical while healing. So if you're actually sitting behind a barrier and you're trying to get a heal off, all you have to do is just shoot the barrier that's right in front of you, obviously, that you're hiding behind, and that'll keep most enemies away from just rushing you at that barrier, because they're going to have to inflict a little bit of self-damage due to that drill just going away at them. So go ahead, use the drill, and you can actually get off a full bat before the drill ends up leaving. So that is amazing, and I use it like 24/7. Every time I play Mad Maggie, I'm using this tactic 100% of the time. But that leads us also into tip number 4. Let's get into it. Keeping enemies split from their team. Now, we're still using our tactical a little bit, and as you can tell on screen right here, this is exactly the kind of setup I'm talking about. So I actually go ahead and I snipe this one Wraith, and I notice that our teammate is actually to my right. So what I do is I actually block the doors so Wraith can't just come out of the doors and start shooting at me. Yes, she can come out of a side door, but she can't come out of the 2 main doors that I'm running past. So basically blocking off any way that an enemy can shoot at you is really good, and then kidnapping that enemy. So basically, I shot Wraith. I knew that she had to heal, but I went ahead and kidnapped her inside of that building, finished the Mad Maggie, and then went on and finished the Wraith, as she now doesn't have a door to hide behind. So let's go ahead and move over to tip number 5. Tip number 5 is using the Wrecking Ball. So if you use the Wrecking Ball right after you have damaged somebody with your tactical, you can actually still get the little bit of a scan, as you more than likely will hit them, and not only whenever you hit them, but you also throw them off their course, because it literally throws them up in the air, but you also stun them as well, which is really nice because they move at limited speed. They can't really turn around, and like I said, this ultimate is literally just overpowered if you use it. And I know I keep saying overpowered, but listen, you hear me out now. If you use Mad Maggie and you keep playing her, you'll really realize how overpowered she is. Now, if you are fleeing from the scene using the Wrecking Ball, what you're going to want to do is 3 things. You can either throw it at the enemy to make them just hold up for a second and stay wherever they're at, or you can throw it in the wrong direction of where you're going. So then that way you basically bamboozle and get a little bit of that, mirage action. Or you can throw it in the way that you're running, so then that way, whenever you get ready to run, you're actually running at as fast of a speed as you can, and you can get away from them as fast as possible. Now, this is really good to throw inside of a door and then get them to actually chase you inside of that door. Obviously, you're going to break the door, but you can put down on the wall your tactical, and that'll keep them from coming into the door, but it got you there faster to keep you out of that damage. So keep that in mind the next time that you jump into a game. And if you have made it this far, please consider hitting that like button and maybe even consider subscribing down below. And for the little bonus tip I would like to give you is Mad Maggie's loadout. What is the best Mad Maggie's loadout? Now, if you want me to make a whole video on this, I can, but I felt like that this would just be a good bonus tip. I prefer the Peacekeeper and the R301 as it puts an extreme amount of pressure on the enemy whenever you're at mid to far range. And the reason why is because the R301 can do that mid to long range, but then the Peacekeeper can keep you up close and personal, keep you safe. And you can have her tactical, you have her ultimate, so basically you do a little bit of damage at mid-range. You can throw a tactical to keep them behind the barrier, and then throw your ultimate to get there faster or to do a little bit of damage between them. There's so many ways that you can actually utilize Mad Maggie that there's such a skill gap that I think that that's the reason a lot of people are still not using her, even though she can knock down Gibby's bubble, which I haven't really seen a lot of Gibby bubbles out there, and I haven't really seen too many Mad Maggies, to be completely honest with you. And whenever I do see one, they are not playing them to the full potential that they could be played. Now, do I do this every single time? Am I perfect with Mad Maggie? Absolutely not. But you know what? I have went back and reviewed a lot of my gameplay and found out that a lot of these tactics that I'm using are pretty nice. And sometimes I don't use them, sometimes I do. But I probably should be using them a lot more often. But anyway, I hope that you did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure to leave a big fat like on this thing, like I said before. And I'll look to see you guys in the next one, baby. Peace.